What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Surprise, surprise. Larry Bird was brought up as a topic of conversation on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, Paul Pierce, and Keyshawn Johnson. And it looks like they're comparing him to Luka Dončić and saying, is Luka better than Larry Bird? Well, before getting into it, that's going to be an easy no, hell no, and have you lost your mind? Now, I put out a video a while ago, maybe a year ago, something like that, where I made comparisons to Bird and Luka because there are some similarities. Bear in mind, I said some, not a lot. I had even said in the video for all you Bird people that stepped away from the game of basketball, either since Bird retired or since Mike retired, I know a lot of people have, that you might like Luka Dončić and you might find some interest in watching him because of some of the similarities with Bird. Alright, you might see a little bit of Bird in him. But let's get into the video. I might pause and chime in from time to time if I have a thought to get it off, because I know I usually forget. And then I'll give my final remarks after it's all done. So let's get into it. Video's about 15 and a half minutes.
How close is Luka to Larry Bird?
This is hurt.
How close is Luka to Larry Bird?
This is hurting my ears.
Is it?
I mean, I don't even know. Like, can we stop with this? Scoring, Luka. Handles, Luka. Shooting, Bird. Passing, Bird. Rebounding, Bird. Speed, Bird. IQ, Bird. Let's stop with the comparisons here.
Really? You go speed Bird? I'm not
Yeah, I
sure
go
about
speed
that.
Bird.
Yeah.
I go speed Bird.
Yes.
This is a close one, though, but I think Bird edges him out.
I might go speed neither, but what?
Bird looks slow. Bird looks slow. Luka is slow.
Right, no, look, no.
All right.
No, but, I think Luka is carving out his own niche. I mean, he's been first-team All-NBA for about 4 times, and, he could win a championship this year. He's on his way to being an all-time great. But we're talking about one of the top 5 or 10 players to ever play the game. Can Luka get there? Numbers-wise, he's on his way. But Bird, 3 straight MVPs.
He did.
I mean, Bird came in and he changed the game. He made us watch basketball. In his, second year, I believe, he won a championship?
He did.
I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he was on a really loaded veteran
Yeah, but
team,
I'd like to give him somebody else right now.
What?
I mean, Luka, I'm not sure what his comparable is right now. I mean, I would probably make him a combination of a couple players, and that's saying a lot. He's probably like the European LeBron James. I mean, because the way he can score, the way he can pass, and the way he rebounds the ball, and the way he controls the game.
Yeah.
I'll give him that right there. Just a less athletic, LeBron, pretty much. And that's it.
I remember I used to say that sometimes. I was like, Luka's very similar to LeBron James, just minus the athleticism. And I'd probably say Luka's a little bit more, probably in general, more skilled than LeBron. But, yeah. And honestly, from a scoring perspective, I think Luka Dončić has more in common with Paul Pierce, how Paul Pierce scores. They both have similar bodies, using their body to score. Very physical. That's how Paul Pierce used to score a lot of his points. You see how Luka always nudging people and dragging his body across them and them bouncing off and all that. That's how Paul Pierce used to score. And he was a beast in the post.
And a lot still.
Yes.
But Bird was a different type of player. He didn't handle at the top. He didn't go through pick and rolls. He was like 1 or 2 dribbles and he gonna knock it down. Yeah. And he was as great as Luka is a passer, I think Bird was better.
I agree with
Hell
that.
yeah.
As great as Luka's been shooting clutch and all that, I think Bird was a better clutch shooter.
Agreed.
Easily.
As great as Luka's rebounding is, I mean, the guy averages 9 rebounds. We know Bird was an elite rebounder.
Well, he averaged 10 for his career.
He averaged 10 for a career, which is it's tough to do. So
Again, when you compare the stats, you're like, people just be like, Luka's a better passer because he's averaging 4 more assists than Larry, 3 more assists, whatever. I don't got the numbers in front of me, but it's like, you gotta watch. You have to watch it, man. Larry didn't hold on to the ball. The ball didn't stick with him. Larry was a superior passer, man. Larry was special at passing the basketball. And, of course, Larry's rebounding is better. Of course. Especially the era Larry was rebounding in compared to now.
Oh. I love the comparison, and it should be an honor for Luka to just be mentioned in the same breath as Bird. I mean, that means he's going places. But this is not a knock on Luka. He's going to carve his own niche.
Yeah.
And he has a shot. He has a shot as early as this year to be amongst one of the all-time greats.
All right, what you got?
It's hard, Skip, when you compare great players to present players, or present players to great players, however you want to phrase that. When you look at, like we talk about Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan, you look at their first 6 years. The first however many years, right? Oh, he didn't do Michael Jordan. I mean, you can say the same thing about Bird and Luka. The problem is when you start saying he was on a loaded team, that loaded team wasn't doing nothing before he got there. They was loaded, but they were not doing anything. So when you go down the list.
That Boston Celtics team, before Larry Bird got there, was absolutely not loaded. What the hell are these guys talking about? Have they lost their mind? With who? Pistol Pete? An old Pistol Pete who retired after his first season with Bird, if I'm not mistaken? They didn't have anybody on that team. That team was horrible. Larry Bird orchestrated the greatest turnaround for an NBA franchise once he got there. A record that still stands today. What are these guys talking about? Oh, he came to a loaded team. Are they smoking crack? These are the guys on TV getting paid millions of dollars. And people that don't know no better are going to watch this kind of stuff and just regurgitate it. Larry Bird came to a stacked roster. What? What are you talking about? Bro, these guys are tripping. Tripping. Do a little bit of homework. Like, y'all know what your topics are before you go into the show. And everything starts recording. How do you guys not do your research or brush up on this stuff before you get on national television and say stuff like this? This is crazy, man. And y'all think I'll be making stuff up with this when I'm always calling out all this revisionist history today. It's sickening, bro.
In 6 years, you talked about all the numbers statistically. Just think about this. Bird had 2 MVPs in his back pocket. Now, let's get into something. Three.
He won 3 in a row.
Three straight.
My bad, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Wilt and Bill Russell were the only ones to do that.
Yep.
Then when you go and you look at what we all talk about, the biggest weakness for Luka and all that he does is play the other end of the floor.
Yeah.
Bird made all defensive team 3 times in 6 years. Luka got 0. Mm-hmm. So you can't.
And he will probably always
have 0. Yeah. So there you go. That landslide already shifts all the way over to Larry Bird. Then All-Star games, he's up on him. Conference appearances, he's up on him. Titles, he's up on him. Although you say he was on a loaded team. That team was loaded, but wasn't going anywhere till he got there.
What?
Truth.
So, loaded?
Did he make them that much better where they start winning NBA titles? Yes.
He did.
So, when you look at Luka, he's yet to do that, although he's gone to 2 Western Conference finals. Yeah. But we can point to many players in the league that's gone to conference finals or championships. It didn't win early in their careers and never got back to them again. Yeah. And it just kind of, it took Dirk to the end of his career to win a championship. So when you start thinking about guys like Larry Bird and some of these legendary players, it's hard to catch them. You can have resemble their game, can be the same, they can shoot the same, they can both be white, all of those sort of things. Because we certainly pulled Bird. We didn't say, let's compare him to Scottie Pippen, or let's compare him to some other player. We had to choose a white dude, which to me is crazy too. Because his game, like you said, his game is like a LeBron in a certain way.
That's fair. Yeah.
Why can't we compare his first 6 seasons to LeBron's?
The same as far as,
they're two slow white guys who can score like crazy.
Type,
but like Larry Bird famously said, it's disrespectful to put a white dude on me. That's disrespectful.
That's what he said.
Come on now.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
Luka is more similar to me offensively. I didn't have the passing.
Compare him
I didn't have the passing he had, but like when you look at how he plays offensively, like he's real, like he gets to his spot, not overly as athletic as everybody. He can knock down shots, make tough shots. I mean, more so than Larry Bird. Like,
you compared him to,
But Luka's on his way. Don't get it twisted. He's on his way. He's in the MVP conversation the last 4 or 5 years. He's first team All NBA the last 4.
On his way to what?
He's on his way to like possibly being up there with the all-time greats like Larry Bird. Like all he needs is a few championships, a few MVPs, and he's in the talks and he's in the running right now.
All he needs
for a championship.
Wait, I was literally. Wait, hold on. I was literally about to hit you with this with Paul.
All he needs.
All you needed was a champ. You know how long it took? All I need is a championship. You know how long it took?
He's on his way. He's on his way. He's on his way. I'll tell you that.
It's just hard
the numbers
to
is going to be there at the end. The numbers is going to be there. Now all you got to do is just...
His numbers are going to be there, but his accolades.
He got to decorate those accolades. Yep.
All right. I'm going to give Luka this. He has a gift for scoring the basketball in the lane, unlike any I've ever seen, because he's got this herky-jerky style that is hard to mirror on defense. It's off rhythm. It's crazy. It's like it's hard on your ears, you know, like it's hard on your eyes and your ears because there's no rhythm to it whatsoever. But he's much stronger than he looks because he doesn't even look like he's in shape to me. But he plays with grown man strength in the lane because it's hard to keep him from the bucket. And it's hard to keep him from the free throw line if he gets in the lane. And he gets in the lane on everybody. Nobody can keep him out of the lane. So he has that first step weird quickness that's hard to sort of calculate it. It's hard to explain it. But he can get a step on you anytime he wants because he has rare handles. And once he gets 1 inch on you in the lane, you're going to have a hard time stopping him, at least from keeping him from the free throw line, because he's going to get fouled or he's going to score the bucket. And he's got magic hands, man. He can do all kinds of trick shots over you that don't look that sensational or spectacular because it's not what your eyes are used to seeing. He's like creating his own way and rhythm with the basketball. Well, the reason it works at such a high rate, he's scoring the ball more than Larry Bird did because he's averaging 29 for his career. Bird averaged 24. Well, guess what? Every year, Luka leads the league in usage rate. So he's going to dribble the air out of the basketball. He just dribble. Sometimes it just wears me out. Between that and his bitching a moment to the referees, he just wears me out.
Damn, Skip.
And Bird never complained about calls like that. So this is a whole nother way that he's attacking referees. But he was 36% usage rate during the regular season. That's just off the charts. That means almost 40% of the time that Dallas has the basketball, it's in his hands. Okay? Does he make his teammates as great as Larry made his teammates? He does not. Because he's
Absolutely
too
not.
ball
He's
dominant.
too ball dominant.
He's too I am the world. You know, like it's him or bust too often.
Well, I think he makes it big men. It's big men.
Sometimes. But listen, Larry definitely made everybody better. That was his gift.
The dude came in and went to the championship.
He did.
Period.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Larry Bird was 6 feet 9 inches tall, and he shot that feet on the floor jumper. It's over.
Just for you guys that don't know, I know a lot of you that watch do know this, but with Keyshawn, I guess what he meant was like once he came into the league, he got a championship relatively soon. But it wasn't that rookie year. He got rookie of the year his rookie year, but Magic Johnson went on ahead and won a championship that first year. And then Bird got it the next year.
Over his head, you know, like it's unblockable because he's shooting it back behind his head. Okay? Luka doesn't have that. He's worked on it, and I'm impressed how hard he worked on his shot this year because it's way better than it used to be. And yet...
Man, I used to hate the Celtics.
Hey, then we get down to what are you made of? Because, Keyshawn, you're still not exactly sure what Luka is made of. I can tell you what Larry Bird was made of. We're talking about Jordan-esque cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
That's who he was.
100%.
Cold-blooded killer on the basketball court. Basketball assassin was Larry Bird.
Look, he definitely faster than Luka. When you see him run,
Yeah, I know.
He's definitely faster than Luka. Look at the speed going to the basket.
No, he got ups right here. He got ups right here.
He's faster than Luka.
You're right.
He can jump right here.
That's faster than Luka right there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
This is kind of...
Who said he wasn't fast?
No.
I always said Bird is deceptively fast, man. I've seen him out sprint people in fast breaks all the time, even with the ball in his hand, getting ahead of the guy without the basketball.
I went down my list of why, Larry.
Man, he just he look, man, y'all.
We had put speed and Skip was like, I don't know.
When I say he's better than Luka, yeah, he's better than Luka to me.
Yeah.
I understand we like Luka and we want to put him up there in the front.
We're just saying, we know he's better, but we're saying he's comparable.
You got to get there,
his
though.
comparable is probably
You can't compare him to Luka because he plays defense. He played.
Yeah.
He literally played. He made defensive team 3 years.
Yeah.
Out of 6.
Yeah, so but I don't see really a real comparable.
That's what I said. Find somebody
Luka
else.
is like he's more James Harden. Or LeBron James without the athleticism.
Yeah.
I think
Find some. Well, you in a certain offensively, LeBron.
Yeah. Well, James Harden.
Or James Harden offensively.
Do you know how many times Larry Bird leaned over and whispered in somebody's ear, I'm about to do this to you, and did it?
Yeah.
That's who he was.
Yeah, the NBA not like that no more.
No, not like that.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do that. There's probably one player in the league that'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Paul did that.
I mean, I would talk to you.
headband on.
I'll talk to you.
Clock running down.
I'll talk to
headband
you.
on.
I'll talk to you. But they don't do that no more. This is different. They
You know
talk
the
about where
story
they're going
about-
to dinner. They talk about where they're going to dinner with
That is
after
true.
the game.
That is true. Do you know the story of Larry Bird before the three-point shooting contest at the All-Star
Who's
game in
I'm
Dallas,
taking
Texas?
first. Who's going to take second? Yeah, that's what he told him walking in the locker room.
Which one of you is going to finish second?
Yeah, which one of y'all going to finish second?
You know I love that.
I should have said that when I won it. Did you know I won a three-point contest?
No, when was it?
You didn't know I won a three-point contest? Oh, see? With my warm-up on, too?
No, I don't remember that.
Just like Larry
They
Legend.
didn't advertise it then.
No, this was like 2010 in Dallas.
Did you hold up your finger
Yeah.
on the last shot?
You lying to me, right?
Man, look it up. You got it. Come on, man. 2010 three-point.
I don't remember
You know who was in it?
I don't remember.
Steph Curry was in it.
Was he?
Steph Curry was in it. Chauncey
No.
Billups. Man, all right, whatever. All right.
You lying, Paul.
All right, now I'm lying. Now I'm lying. I won the three-point
The
contest.
rules must have been
with
different.
Steph Curry.
Was the rules different? Y'all have more time, something.
That 15
Don't even
footers count.
sound right.
That 15-footers count or
Yeah,
something.
something. It might had
Y'all
to
better
be.
look this up.
Did they
during
move the court,
we
the
go to
line
break, we go to
in?
commercial. Y'all better look it up. I don't care how old he was, but Steph Curry was in the three-point contest. I won.
Oh, so because they trying to say he was young?
Man, listen.
You won, that's all you know.
That's all I know.
Okay.
I didn't
So
choose him.
I asked you this off air a few minutes ago. If you know Larry Bird at all, and you said
never
you
met
shocked
him.
me, you've
Yeah.
never met him.
I saw Larry
What?
once. He came to the Garden when we played Indiana. Last time when I was on Celtics, we played Indiana, and he came to give him a standing ovation. That's the closest I've seen him. He never came around Boston. I think he had a lot of issues.
I was about to say, you know what? At first I'm like, how? Actually, I'm gonna let Pierce talk.
With the former owners, and he just never came really back to Boston, and so that's why he had the job in Indiana as a coach and as a general manager, president, and that was home for him.
That's just crazy to me that you've never met.
And I just saw that Jason Tatum met him.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's so weird, though.
never met him.
It seemed like you had met him on some
He didn't come
anniversary,
to
something.
like the 75 team anniversary. He didn't show up to that. I thought we'd have an opportunity there, but no, I haven't.
But even like y'all championship celebrations, they
he's
get
not
together.
coming. He
nothing.
wasn't coming to
Zero.
Boston. No, he didn't come to Boston.
Yeah, that's wild, huh, Skip?
Wow, that's crazy.
It's wild.
I never met Bird.
Would you have enjoyed picking his brain about
Man,
what it
I
was
would've
like
loved it.
when he played?
Oh, I would have loved it. But I had a chance to pick with a lot of guys that
You
played
did.
with him. I talked to Cornbread on the daily because he works there.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Cornbread Maxwell.
Cornbread Maxwell. I done had dinner with Bill Russell, talked to Tommy Heinzen and those guys. So,
Obviously, Danny
Havlicek,
Ainge was there.
Danny Ainge, so. Yeah, but I would have loved to talk to Bird.
All right, so wrap this up. Where do you put yourself on the all-time Celtic list? How do you see yourself?
I think I could be in the top 5.
Okay.
I think I could be in the top 5 based on, like, you know, what I've done. Like, as far as records with scoring, I'm probably, like, number 2, I think, and steals and three-pointers made. And I think I'm in the top 5.
Okay, so you have Mr. Russell that I would put at the top, and I put Bird. And then I think Paul Pierce is a candidate to be third on that list.
Who would be third?
I don't know.
You got Mikal.
You don't have to be modest.
You got Dave Cowens. You got Kuzi.
Man, stop,
You know, so.
Stop all that,
I think Paul Pierce would rank 3.
I'll be up there.
Well,
You just mentioned dudes that bounce the ball like this. Like, come on, man. Stop.
See, this is the problem.
Right,
This is the problem.
thanks for watching.
Yeah, at first I was like, all those years Pierce was in Boston, never met Larry Bird. I would have thought, I know Bird, I heard that Bird really wasn't coming around. I mean, he was never, like, Boston that was never his vibe to begin with. From French Lick, that's a country boy. It was never his speed, the city. But he obviously loved Boston. Poured everything out for the city, for the fans. We all know that, but you know, especially in his retirement, Bird just want to go back to French Lick, Indiana, whatever, relax with his family, pop some beers open, do some fly fishing. You know, just he was a bit of a recluse. Like, Bird is the complete opposite of Magic Johnson in that regard. He likes his privacy, he likes his quiet. So that, you know, at first I was like, what? I was like, yeah, maybe I could see it. And I guess Pierce was alluded to, you know, something with the new owners or the organization. But like Skip was saying, there wasn't any type of, you know, event where they invited Bird back and you were there. I guess no, never happened. Never happened. As far as Paul Pierce, a top 5 Celtic of all time, obviously he's not ahead of Bill Russell, Bird. I think I might even have to put Kevin McHale ahead of Paul Pierce too. No disrespect. Then I'd have to think about it. They mentioned some of the other guys, but I'd have to think about it. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if not top 5, he's definitely top 10. No question about it. Now let me just say, like I was saying earlier, that was not a loaded roster when Larry Bird came into the league, man. Kevin McHale wasn't on that roster in the 79-80 season. McHale was not there. Kevin McHale got drafted the year after as a rookie. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. When Bird came in, some of the players they had was Tiny Archibald, and at the time, Tiny was not in his prime anymore. That was not prime Tiny. He was on the decline of his career, especially after that Achilles injury. So Tiny was not that guy anymore. They had Cedric Maxwell, who was solid. ML Carr, nice piece. Rick Roby at center. I mean, this was not a loaded roster. What the hell are they talking about? It was not. The team sucked before Larry Bird got there for a reason. They were a horrible team. And like I said, they had a Pistol Pete about to retire when Bird pulled up. Like, what are you talking about? It's not a loaded roster, people. Cut it out. Cut it out. They think they had that roster, the roster they won all the championships with later. That ain't the same guys that he came in with. Well, not all of them. DJ wasn't there when Bird pulled up initially. Ainge wasn't there when Bird pulled up initially. They had Maxwell. Parrish wasn't there. I think Rick Carlisle was on at least one of those teams. Well, like I said, it wasn't a loaded roster. What are you talking about? Crazy. Now, as far as impact goes, I think Nikola Jokic is more similar to Larry Bird as opposed to Luka Dončić. Because Bird wasn't a ball-dominant player, and neither was Joker, or is Joker. The ball didn't stick to Larry, like Skip Bayless was saying. It doesn't stick with Nikola Jokic either. Both Larry and Joker are quick decision makers and efficient decision makers. I love that about their games. It's more conducive to a positive impact on the team in my personal opinion. It makes the team's offense way more potent. I'm not a huge fan of ball monopolizers like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Luka Dončić. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's impressive that they can shoulder that load and do what they do, because that's not easy. So I'm not discrediting them. I'm just saying it comes with its own risks and challenges that I don't personally like. And especially come playoff time, a lot of times it's easier to dial in on players and teams that play that kind of brand of basketball. But Luka Dončić is certainly a special basketball player. He's one of my favorites. And like I said in the video earlier, I love the fact that players like Luka, like Joker, are dominating, because it shows people with the lack of knowledge, really, or wanting us to know that, hey, Bird would have torched the current NBA too. Because people acting like Bird would be a bum today. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, look at him. Look how slow he is. Oh, he has no moves. He can't do this. I was like, dude, lay off the crack, bro. Yeah, man, people quick to tell me Bird is slow, Bird is soggy, Bird is a 6'9" sloth. But Bird is more athletic than both Luka Dončić and Nikola Jokic. And the entire league has no answer for those two guys right now. So what the hell are they going to do with Bird? Joker and Luka right now got coaches and organizations and players out here looking like cavemen or monkeys, just scratching their head trying to figure out how to stop these guys. It's like that right now. You know, usually when Larry Bird's name gets brought up in mainstream media these days, or on a podcast or something like that, it seems like a lot of the times it's some type of egregious take, BS, and something that I find myself having to address yet again. But I tell you what, having Paul Pierce on Undisputed right now is the best thing that could have happened for Skip Bayless, because nobody was watching after Shannon left. That it was looking bad for them. And Paul Pierce right now is carrying the show right now on his back. And he brings some refreshing takes, and his personality is great. He's entertaining, and I love how he trolls Keyshawn Johnson so much. And you know he's trolling. He knows he's trolling. It's also nice, you know, given Paul Pierce's history as a basketball player, Celtic for life. I know he played with the Clippers in Brooklyn, Washington, D.C., but you know what I mean. Celtic for life. So he knows his history. He knows Larry Bird, and obviously not personally, like he just said, but he knows who the hell Larry Legend is, the legend that Larry Bird was. And Pierce kept it 100. I agree. And I think the only thing Luka probably does better than Bird is score. And, you know, I guess ball handling too, maybe. But even the scoring is subjective, considering Bird wasn't really looking to score like how Luka Dončić looks to score. So it just wasn't Bird's game, and that wasn't how he played basketball. It really wasn't. And like they mentioned, Luka has that absurd usage rate. So the stats are going to be high, especially in this NBA with the inflation. And let's be honest here, folks. Let's be honest. If we adjust Larry Bird's numbers for the current NBA based on atmosphere rules, you know, lack of defense, you can expect an uptick in Bird's numbers. So that particular part can lead to a pretty nuanced conversation. Lots of variables to consider. But however you slice it and dice it, Bird is the better player. And it's not even an argument. Bird's the better player. Stats and eye test. It's not even close. When Michael Jordan comes out and says Bird's the best small forward he's ever seen in the NBA, you would think that means something. That accounts for something. And it has nothing to do with a GOAT agenda and, you know, trying to slight LeBron James by saying Larry Bird's the best small forward he ever seen. Because Jordan can literally give two shits about the GOAT debate. My guy Jordan is out here cashing checks, smoking cigars, sipping on the classiest bourbon, and trying the best to stay under par on the holes. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for stepping in. Check out our Larry Bird playlist. Check out our Luka Dončić playlist. And shout out to the Bird Gang. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. We out, baby.